Admiral Elena Rodriguez stood at the viewport of Lunar Base Alpha, her dark eyes fixed on the gleaming blue marble of Earth below. The message that had arrived 12 hours ago still echoed in her mind. Submit or be conquered. The Arcturian Empire's ultimatum was everything their intelligence had predicted it would be, down to the exact phrasing. Admiral, the civilian news networks are beginning to pick up the signal, reported Commander David Chen, his holographic form shimmering beside her. The panic is spreading exactly as we anticipated. Elena allowed herself a small smile. Good. Let them think we're scrambling. She turned to face the quantum display showing Earth's major population centers, where millions were now watching the Arcturian message broadcast across every available screen. Are our assets still invisible to their scans? Yes, Admiral. Project Phantom's quantum camouflage is holding steady. They're seeing exactly what we want them to see. A pre-spaceflight civilization with primitive satellite technology and rudimentary defense systems. 30 years ago, when humanity had detected the first Arcturian probe at the edge of the solar system, they'd made a crucial decision. Instead of announcing their discovery to the world, a secret coalition of nations had begun preparing for this very day. While maintaining a carefully crafted facade of normal technological progression, humanity had leaped forward centuries in development, hidden beneath layers of quantum deception. The massive Arcturian fleet hung in high orbit, their crystalline ships refracting sunlight like artificial stars. Their deployment pattern was textbook, exactly as documented in the data they'd extracted from that first captured probe. The Arcturians were nothing if not consistent in their conquests, and that would be their undoing. Status of Operation Looking Glass, Elena asked, bringing up the secure neural link to the project's headquarters beneath the Mariana Trench. Dr. Sarah Henderson's voice filled her mind through the quantum-encrypted channel. The quantum mirror arrays are charged and synchronized, Admiral. We can initiate the reflection protocol on your command. This was humanity's masterstroke, technology that could turn the Arcturians' own weapons against them, developed through decades of studying their technology. While the alien empire had expected to find a primitive species cowering before their might, they'd instead stumbled into an elaborate trap. General Santos, are the Ghost Brigades in position? Elena's query reached the hidden bases on Mars, where humanity's most advanced combat units waited in quantum-shielded bunkers. All units ready, Admiral. The neural-linked pilots are synchronized with their quantum mechs. We can launch within 30 seconds of your order. Elena checked the countdown clock. The Arcturians had given Earth 48 hours to surrender. They had deliberately waited until the final hour, playing into the Empire's expectations of a primitive species, paralyzed by fear and indecision. Begin Operation Checkmate, Elena commanded. Initiate protocols in sequence, exactly as planned. Let's show our visitors why it's dangerous to underestimate humanity. Across the solar system, hidden facilities hummed to life. Quantum computers that had been running simulations for decades shifted to combat protocols. Beneath the oceans, in mountain bunkers, and in cloaked orbital platforms, humanity's true military might emerged from its long hibernation. The Arcturian Empire had conquered 1,000 worlds using the same tactical playbook. They would broadcast their demands, demonstrate their overwhelming force, and accept the inevitable surrender of yet another primitive species. But humanity had spent 30 years studying that playbook, preparing countermoves for every standard protocol. Send our response to their ultimatum, Elena ordered, straightening her uniform. The message was brief, carefully crafted to provoke the exact response they wanted. The people of Earth respectfully decline your generous offer. As predicted, the Arcturian fleet immediately began moving into attack formation. Elena watched the tactical display, counting down the seconds. Everything was proceeding exactly according to plan. Humanity had spent 3 decades preparing for this moment, and the Arcturians were about to learn a harsh lesson about appearances versus reality. All units, Elena broadcast through the quantum network that linked Earth's hidden defenders. Execute primary sequence on my mark. Remember your training. Remember what we're fighting for. Today, humanity shows the galaxy that we will not be conquered. The Arcturian ships launched their first wave of fighters, exactly as their tactical doctrine demanded. They had no way of knowing they were following a script written by their intended victims 3 decades ago. No way of knowing that every move they made had been anticipated and prepared for. Helena Rodriguez, a child when that first probe was captured, now stood ready to lead humanity's response. Command to all units. Operation Checkmate is now active. Show them what humanity can do. The first Arcturian energy beams lanced toward Earth's major cities, exactly as humanity's strategic AI had predicted. Admiral Rodriguez watched calmly as the seemingly defenseless planet lay exposed before the alien armada. The Empire's weapons, capable of reducing continents to ash, streaked through the atmosphere and vanished. Quantum shield arrays operating at optimal efficiency, Commander Chen reported, his holographic form displaying real-time data streams. The enemy's energy weapons are being redirected into our storage matrices. Current capture rate is 97%. The Arcturian fleet paused their assault, clearly confused by the complete absence of destruction. Helena smiled, remembering the thousands of simulations they'd run of this exact moment. The Empire's tactical doctrine had no protocols for complete weapon failure. It had never happened in their 1,000 years of conquest. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, Dr. Henderson's quantum mirror arrays hummed with captured energy. Admiral, the weapon's energy signatures are confirmed to match our projections. Storage systems are integrating the power seamlessly. We're ready to implement Phase 2. The Arcturian command ship launched a general broadcast, their previous diplomatic veneer cracking. Your primitive deflection technologies cannot save you. Submit now, and we may yet show mercy. That's our cue. Helena transmitted through the quantum network. All Ghost Brigade units, execute deployment pattern Omega. Show them what we've been hiding. Across Mars' surface, massive hangar doors shimmered into visibility as quantum camouflage fields deactivated. Hundreds of mechanized units launched skyward, their forms blending seamlessly between states of matter. Humanity's answer to the Arcturians' crystalline technology. General Santo's voice crackled through the neural link. Ghost Brigades launching now. Our quantum drives are sensed and operational, engaging celestial mechanics protocols for optimal attack vectors. The Arcturian fleet's sensors suddenly blazed with alerts as humanity's true military capabilities revealed themselves, not just from Mars, but from bases hidden in Jupiter's moons, Saturn's rings, and even the depths of Earth's oceans. Humanity's forces emerged. They're attempting to activate their quantum communication arrays, Commander Chen reported, trying to call for reinforcements. Helena nodded. Initiate Operation Radio Silence. Dr. Henderson's voice held a note of satisfaction. Quantum disruption fields active. Their communications are contained within our solar system. They're alone. The Ghost Brigades crossed the space between Mars and Earth in seconds, using quantum tunneling technologies reverse-engineered from that first captured probe and enhanced by 3 decades of human innovation. The mechanized units phased through the Arcturian ship shields as if they didn't exist, their pilots neurally linked to weapons that could match the aliens' crystalline technology. First wave of Ghost Brigade units reporting successful penetration of enemy vessels, General Santos announced. Beginning internal deployment. No casualties. Helena watched as the tactical display showed humanity's forces materializing inside the Arcturian ships, bypassing their supposedly impenetrable defenses. The alien vessel's crystal-based technology, once thought to be their greatest strength, proved vulnerable to the quantum-based countermeasures humanity had spent decades developing. Admiral, Commander Chen called out, we're detecting power fluctuations in the enemy fleet. They're attempting to reconfigure their shield harmonics. Too late, Helena responded. They're fighting the last war. Execute Phase 3. Throughout the solar system, hidden quantum transmitters activated, creating a complex web of entangled particles. The technology, far beyond anything the Arcturians had encountered, began to interfere with their ship's crystalline matrices. The alien fleet's perfect formation began to break apart as their ships lost coherence with each other. Their crystal-based computing systems, unable to process the quantum interference, started generating cascading errors. Enemy fleet showing signs of systematic failure, Commander Chen reported. Their tactical network is collapsing. Individual ships are losing formation coherence. Elena opened a channel to all Earth forces. This is the moment we've prepared for. 30 years of sacrifice, secrecy, and preparation have brought us here. Begin synchronized attack pattern Delta. Show them humanity's true face. The Ghost Brigades, now positioned throughout the enemy fleet, activated their quantum disruption fields simultaneously. The Arcturian ship's crystalline structures began to resonate at frequencies their designers had never anticipated, their supposedly perfect formations becoming their greatest vulnerability. Admiral, Dr. Henderson's voice held a note of triumph. The energy captured from their initial attack is fully integrated into our systems. We're ready to return their greeting. Elena Rodriguez stood straight, her voice clear and commanding. All units prepare for full spectrum engagement. It's time to show the Arcturian Empire why they should have looked more carefully before choosing Earth as their next conquest. The Arcturian Supreme Commander's image materialized across Earth's communication channels, its crystalline features distorted with barely contained rage. You dare to resist? Our empire spans 1,000 systems. This defiance will be your last act as a species. Admiral Rodriguez watched as the alien fleet reorganized, their remaining ships forming into an attack pattern their intelligence had never documented. Finally, something unexpected. All units maintain quantum disruption fields but prepare for unknown enemy tactics. Admiral, Commander Chen's hologram flickered with incoming data. They're converting their damaged ships into energy weapons. Power signatures are off the charts. The tactical display showed the disabled Arcturian vessels literally dissolving, their crystalline structures breaking down into pure energy. The remaining fleet was channeling this power, preparing for what would clearly be a devastating attack. Dr. Henderson, Elena called through the quantum link. Analysis. They're attempting to overload our quantum shields with raw power. The scientist replied. It's primitive but potentially effective. Our simulations never predicted they'd sacrifice their own ships. Delina smiled grimly. Desperate times. General Santos, status of Ghost Brigade infiltration teams. 80% of our units are already inside their viable ships, the general reported. The rest are in position for Phase 4. Perfect. Elena opened a channel to all Earth forces. This is exactly why we developed Contingency Omega. Execute on my mark. The Arcturian fleet's energy buildup reached critical levels. Their remaining ships began to glow with contained power, preparing to release a blast that could potentially overwhelm even humanity's advanced defenses. Now, Elena commanded. Throughout the enemy fleet, Ghost Brigade units activated their quantum resonance devices simultaneously. The technology, developed by studying the crystalline properties of Arcturian ships, began to harmonize with the aliens' own energy buildup. Quantum resonance achieving synchronization, Commander Chen reported. Enemy energy signatures are being drawn into our network. The Arcturian ship's sacrifice was working against them. Instead of creating an overwhelming weapon, they were feeding power directly into humanity's quantum grid. Dr. Henderson's voice held excitement. The energy transfer is stable, redirecting power to Project Prometheus. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, massive machines that had waited decades for this moment hummed to life. The captured energy from the Arcturian fleet fed into systems designed specifically to handle their technology's unique properties. Prometheus arrays charged to 100%, Dr. Henderson announced, ready to initiate the quantum cascade. Elena watched as the tactical display showed the Arcturian fleet realizing too late what was happening. Their desperate gambit had played directly into humanity's hands, providing the massive energy needed for Project Prometheus. All Ghost Brigade units, initiate emergency quantum tunneling, Elena ordered. Clear the blast radius. The human forces phased out of normal space moments before Project Prometheus activated. The quantum cascade rippled through space, a wave of carefully tuned energy that interfaced directly with the Arcturians' crystalline technology. Throughout the enemy fleet, ships began to crystallize completely, their advanced technology becoming their undoing. The energy they had gathered to destroy Earth instead transformed their vessels into beautiful but utterly inert crystal sculptures. 87% of enemy fleet neutralized, Commander Chen reported. Remaining vessels are attempting emergency quantum fold jumps. Not today, Elena transmitted. Dr. Henderson, activate the quantum fold inhibitors. The fleeing Arcturian ships found themselves trapped in normal space, their faster-than-light capabilities negated by fields of quantum interference. The remnants of their mighty fleet, now reduced to a handful of functioning vessels, hung powerless above Earth. Elena opened a direct channel to the Arcturian command ship. Supreme Commander, I believe it's time we discussed the terms of your surrender. The alien leader's response was immediate and furious. We do not surrender. The Empire has never. The Empire has never faced humanity. Elena interrupted. You thought you found a primitive species ready for conquest. Instead, you found a civilization that spent 30 years preparing specifically for this day. Now you have a choice. Surrender and live, or force us to demonstrate more of our capabilities. The quantum sensors showed power fluctuations in the remaining Arcturian ships as their commanders argued. They had never encountered a species that could not only resist their standard conquest protocols, but turn their own technology against them so effectively. Final warning, Elena transmitted. Your Empire's template for galactic conquest ends here. Humanity will not be added to your collection of subjugated worlds. Make your choice. Silence filled the quantum channels for exactly 30 seconds before the Arcturian Supreme Commander's response came. You believe you have won. You understand nothing of our Empire's might. This was merely our primary expansion fleet. Admiral Rodriguez watched as new quantum signatures appeared at the edge of the solar system. Hundreds of them. The Arcturians had managed to send a distress signal before Operation Radio Silence had fully activated. Multiple quantum fold events detected, Commander Chen reported, his holographic form displaying the incoming data. Energy signatures match known Arcturian capital ships. This is their main battle fleet, Admiral. Elena's expression remained calm. Right on schedule. Dr. Henderson, is Project Lazarus ready? Quantum entanglement networks are fully operational, the scientist confirmed. The fleet's arrival has activated exactly the resonance patterns we predicted. We can proceed with the final phase. The newly arrived Arcturian fleet made the first invasion force look like a scouting party. Massive crystalline dreadnoughts, each the size of a small moon, took up attack positions throughout the solar system. Their weapon systems made the previous attacks look like warning shots. Your species' defiance ends now, the Supreme Commander transmitted. Witness the true power of the Arcturian Empire. The combined fleet opened fire, releasing enough energy to crack a planet. Earth's quantum shields flared as they absorbed the unprecedented assault, their matrices straining under the onslaught. Shield integrity at 60% and falling, Commander Chen reported. Even with our absorption technology, this level of firepower is beyond our defensive capabilities. We planned for this, Elena reminded him. General Santos, status of Operation Lazarus. Ghost Brigade units are in position, the general reported from his quantum-shielded command center on Mars, awaiting your order to execute. Elena opened a channel to all Earth forces. This is the moment we truly prepared for. The enemy has committed their full strength, exactly as our strategic AI predicted. Begin Operation Lazarus. Show them humanity's final surprise. Throughout the solar system, hidden quantum transmitters activated in perfect synchronization. The technology, far more advanced than anything the Arcturians had imagined possible, began to interface with the natural quantum fields that permeated space itself. Quantum field manipulation achieving critical threshold, Dr. Henderson announced. The enemy fleet's position has locked them into the resonance pattern. The Arcturian ships suddenly found their energy weapons feeding into a vast, invisible network that humanity had spent decades establishing throughout their solar system. Each shot they fired strengthened the quantum web that was slowly encasing their fleet. "Admiral," the Supreme Commander transmitted, "what is this technology? Our sensors indicate impossible quantum interactions." "This," Elena responded, "is humanity's understanding of the universe taken to its logical conclusion. You thought you were our first contact with alien life, but we've known about you for 30 years. Every shot you fire, every quantum fold jump you make, feeds into a system designed specifically to counter your empire's technology." The massive Arcturian fleet attempted to reposition, but their quantum fold drives encountered unexpected resistance. The very fabric of space around them had been altered by humanity's hidden technology. "Quantum entanglement field at maximum strength," Dr. Henderson reported. "Ready to initiate the Lazarus Protocol." Elena nodded. "Execute." The quantum web suddenly contracted, forcing the Arcturian fleet into a precise geometric pattern. Their crystalline ships, resonating with the quantum field, began to synchronize against their commander's wishes. "Your empire's greatest strength," Elena transmitted to the increasingly desperate Arcturian command, "is your crystalline technology's quantum coherence." But quantum coherence, when properly manipulated, becomes quantum entanglement. Your entire fleet is now part of a single quantum system, one that we control. The Arcturian ships' weapons turned on each other, their crystalline matrices forced into harmony with humanity's quantum network. The Empire's supposedly invincible fleet found itself dancing to Earth's tune, unable to break free from the quantum strings humanity had woven through space itself. "Impossible," the Supreme Commander transmitted. No species has ever spent 3 decades preparing specifically for your arrival," Elena interrupted. "No species has ever had the warning we did, or made the choices we made. Your empire's doctrine of conquest ends today, Supreme Commander. The only question is how many of your people die before you accept that fact." The Arcturian Supreme Commander's crystalline form shimmered in Earth's quantum projection chamber, facing Admiral Rodriguez across a space that bridged their vessels. The once proud alien leader's multiple eyes had lost their characteristic gleam, the reality of their situation finally sinking in. "In 1,000 years of expansion," the commander spoke, "no species has ever turned our own technology against us so completely." How did you achieve this level of advancement in secret?" Elena stood straight, her uniform bearing the weight of humanity's 30 years of preparation. "We had something no other species you encountered possessed: warning and unity of purpose. That probe you lost 30 years ago. It taught us everything about your empire's tactics, your technology, your conquest protocols. Instead of fighting among ourselves, Earth's nations made a choice: to prepare in absolute secrecy." The tactical displays showed the remnants of the Arcturian fleet, still held in quantum lockdown throughout the solar system. Their mighty armada, capable of scouring worlds clean of life, hung powerless in space, trapped in humanity's invisible web. "Admiral," Commander Chen reported, "we're detecting power fluctuations in their command ship. They might be attempting to activate their final protocol." Elena finished. "Let them try." The Arcturian vessels began to pulse with energy, their crystalline structures resonating with increasing intensity. It was their ultimate weapon, a synchronized quantum cascade designed to destroy not just their ships, but tear apart the very fabric of space in a massive area. "You would destroy yourselves to deny us victory," Elena asked the Supreme Commander. "Our empire does not accept defeat," the alien leader declared. "If we must die too." "Dr. Henderson," Elena interrupted, "execute quantum convergence." The space around the Arcturian fleet suddenly shifted, the very vacuum seeming to twist as Project Lazarus entered its final phase. The energy building in their ships didn't dissipate. Instead, it followed carefully designed quantum pathways, flowing into a massive array hidden within the asteroid belt. Quantum energy conversion at 98% efficiency, Dr. Henderson reported. Their attempted suicide attack just powered up our deep space detection grid for the next century. The Supreme Commander's crystalline form flickered as the implications became clear. Their greatest weapons, their most desperate measures, had been anticipated and turned into tools for humanity's advancement. You must understand, Alina explained, we didn't just study your technology. We evolved beyond it. While your empire spent 1,000 years perfecting the same conquest protocols, humanity took your basic principles and asked, what else is possible? Throughout the solar system, humanity's hidden achievements began to reveal themselves. Quantum arrays emerged from dimensional shadows, massive engineering projects declocked from their perfect camouflage, and defense systems far beyond Arcturian understanding became visible for the first time. Look closely, Supreme Commander. Alina gestured to the displays showing Earth's true capabilities. This is what a species can achieve when it dedicates itself entirely to survival. We didn't just prepare to fight you. We prepared to make war itself obsolete. General Santo's voice came through the quantum link. Ghost Brigade units report all Arcturian ships are now fully integrated into our control network. We can disable their entire fleet with a single command. Your choice is simple, Alina addressed the Supreme Commander. Surrender and help us establish a new paradigm for galactic civilization, or watch as we dismantle your empire's military might piece by piece. We don't want conquest, we want change. The quantum projection chamber fell silent as the Arcturian leader processed humanity's offer. The Empire had never faced a species that could outthink them, outmaneuver them, and ultimately show them mercy. If we refuse, the commander asked, then we use the quantum technology we developed to systematically disable every warship in your empire, Alina replied. We've already mapped the quantum signatures of your entire fleet. Distance is meaningless when dealing with entangled particles. You taught us that, though you never realized its full implications. The Supreme Commander's crystalline form shifted, displaying the alien equivalent of resignation. And if we accept, then humanity joins the galactic community not as conquerors or conquered, but as architects of a new future. Your empire's technology, combined with our innovations, could transform warfare into an obsolete concept. Isn't that worth more than another conquered world? Throughout the solar system, humanity's forces maintained their perfect quantum lock on the Arcturian fleet. 30 years of preparation had given Earth not just the means to resist conquest, but the power to enforce peace. The choice was always going to be yours, Alina concluded. We simply made sure you would make it with full understanding of the alternatives. As the Supreme Commander began the formal process of surrender, Alina thought about the long path that had led to this moment. Humanity had reached the stars not through conquest or submission, but through foresight, unity, and the determination to forge a different path. The galaxy would never be the same, and that had been the plan all along.